How is your approach to the preseason this year than was last year? Do you kind of like now obviously know what to expect?
Yeah, I was about to say the biggest difference is just knowing what I'm getting into, I think. Last year, I really didn't know what to expect. I had just been working out for like 8, 9 months straight and hadn't really played competitive basketball. So coming into this preseason, kind of knowing a little bit what to expect, a little bit of just everything, basketball-wise, off the court-wise, I just feel a little bit more comfortable. So it's definitely a good feeling.
Man, do you have any goals for yourself this year?
Yeah, but I'm not telling nobody yet. Not yet. I wrote them down.
Coach was talking a little bit about your summer and, the day after the season ended, you were in here and how much you worked. After having such, wanting to play in the summer, after having such a good rookie year, what pushed you to do all that extra work?
I think that's just a little bit of who I am, coming up, high school, I learned from a couple of guys that were ahead of me in high school that you got to work hard to be the best. And my second year, I had a great year. And then, at Kentucky, I didn't play as much my freshman year that I wanted to. And came back that next year, worked, and won SEC Player of the Year. So, just continue to stay on that path of learning your first year, playing with great confidence, and working hard. That's the formula and trusting God. So that's the formula for me. That's always worked, and I'm going to continue to, use that.
Who are the high school guys?
I'm sorry?
Who are the high school guys?
Kimball McKenzie, he played at Bucknell and is playing overseas now. Eli Long, he played at Texas, played at Mount St. Mary's, playing overseas as well. They were both seniors when I was freshman.
What's it like seeing you and Obi continue to grow? You guys put a lot of work together and to see some of the things that you're seeing out of him now.
Yeah, it's great. Like I say all the time, Obi, I've gotten so close to Obi over, this last couple of years. So really just seeing him evolve, not only as a basketball player, as a person. He's a little bit different, with his, now that he has his kid now and stuff like that. So it's great to see him. He's smiling all the time. He's a bundle of energy. So it's great to have him. And then on the court, his chemistry, or our chemistry, has gotten great. And then his confidence on the floor has really improved a lot. He trusts, that if he makes any mistake, he's going to come right back and, be right on top of him in his game. So it's great to have him now.
How has your court vision evolved over the last year?
It's getting better. I think, not only my court vision, but I think anything, as you play games in the NBA, each game you play, each practice you play, every film session that you watch, you get better at each and every aspect. So, I feel like that's only going to get better for me as I continue to watch film and continue to try to learn more. I think that's the biggest thing, just trying to be a sponge, asking questions, asking the older guys, the coaches. I think that's going to help me a lot with my court vision. I'm continuing to try to get better every day at that. So,
when you're running pick and rolls, how has your progression through your reads changed since you first came in?
I think I've just learned as far as I really learned a lot as far as, coming in and then seeing, guys like Derek, Kemba, watching film a little bit on them, especially Kemba. If the big's not up, being a shooting point guard, scoring point guard, if he's not up, you shoot it every time. And then I think that forces the big to come up, and then that opens up, the pocket pass, getting downhill, kicking to the corner, and then reading that low man. So, it's a lot of things that you can learn from just watching, other guys on your team, other great players in the league, and where you're trying to get to. So, just trying to watch film and get better every day.
You worked that pocket pass a couple times in that game the other night. Is that a difficult pass to make? What makes it difficult?
I don't know if it's necessarily difficult as more as it is just a read and working on it in practice. I think the more you work on something, the better you get at it, and the better you get at it in the game, you just continue to do that. So that's really, what it is, just practicing it and getting better at it.
What's it like coming from Calipari and now to Tibbs? The more you get around Tibbs, what's that like?
A lot of people think Tibbs is crazy, but, he's more normal to me coming from Coach Cal. So, it's great to have somebody, like I say all the time, somebody that pushes you, challenges you mentally, physically. It's going to push you every day to be the best you can be, and that's what you want, especially, coming in first year, second year guys. I think, more of the coaches around the league are more, kind of subtle of how they come to the game, or maybe be like kind of relaxed. But Coach Tibbs is going to push you to the max, and that's what you want.
Tibbs said one of the things that when he was in here that he really likes about you is you're just all basketball. Like you come, you go home, you come, you go home, and that basketball's kind of your life. Kind of seems like he's that kind of guy too, for a long time. I mean, do you guys kind of relate that way, or?
Yeah, every time I come here, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, he's always in his room, wave to me every time. So it's great to have somebody, you know, it's great to have a coach, you know, that's putting in just as much time, spending just as much time as you. That's what you want. You want somebody who's dedicated to their craft and who's going to push the group to be as best as they can be, and individuals as best as they can be. So that's a big thing of why we appreciate them.
Tim says he thinks you're here even more than Julius.
Me and Julius I'm actually, happy that, I gotten a chance to work with Julius a lot. Me, Kenny Payne, and Julius have been in the gym a lot, like together. He's let me get in his workouts. So it's great to be able to learn from an all-star, you know what I mean? It's different, when you work out in college or in high school, you're working out with your friends, but I'm working out with one of the best 10, 20 players in the league. So to be able to work out with Julius is crazy, it's an unbelievable experience.
How often do you think you're in here at night?
Every day, probably 2 times a day.
All right, thanks, guys.